Hello, and welcome to episode 32 of the Neko Zucchinis podcast. My name is Katie, and today is actually Monday, June 27th, 2016. But this episode will be going up on June 28th, 2016, so tomorrow. But Monday, like today, worked out better simply because I've got a couple of appointments tomorrow, and then I gotta go pick Dallas up. And yeah, I figured if I recorded tonight, I could at least record if I don't process, and if not, then I can process it tomorrow because I've got enough time for that. But recording and processing sometimes, it wasn't going to work. But anyway, and I'm very sorry for the break in podcasts. I know it's been a couple of weeks. Olds took a lot more energy than I anticipated in a good way. And I caught a bug or something and was super kind of just off all last week, nauseous and dizzy for about a week. This is about the first day that I felt really like myself again. So that meant that I went through and cleaned the house too, which is good. I need to vacuum and stuff, but most of the dishes are done. Laundry started, so that's always nice. Yeah, so I would like to say hi to any new and returning viewers, and to everyone who came up and either purchased a bag or just came to buy to say hi and olds. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I love hearing people say that they watch the podcast simply because it makes it worth it, me sitting down and actually talking to the camera like this, or talking to the camera and staring vaguely at my blinds right now. We're definitely in the full swing of summer. Speaking of blinds, that's actually the window that our deck and pergola are out, and the pergola adds just enough shade. It's really nice in the afternoon. Actually, I've noticed a difference that the living room downstairs doesn't get as warm. And the cats like having the patio door open. But it's open for them to kind of go and stand at and smell the wind. What reminded me of that is Daly is sitting like right there right now. Anyway, on all of that note, I am going to start recording on Tuesdays. No matter if I have knitting or bags to show you, I will start recording, and hopefully that will also spur me to knit a little bit more. Because honestly, I worked on a design project at Olds, which I'm not going to show you right now because it's not finished yet. Almost finished, but not quite. I'm going to finish it this week when Dallas is home. That'll be my knitting time. And the only other thing I worked on was I cast on the second of the Hermione's Everyday Socks. I think I'm on the third row of ribbing, and I've got stitches where there shouldn't be stitches, so I have to fix it. But honestly, because it's in the purple and the cuff will most likely be under a pant leg, you're not going to see it anyway, so I'm just going to fix it and wear it like it is, even though I screwed up the ribbing a little bit because of the extra stitch. It's okay. Yeah, that is literally all the knitting what I knitted at Olds. So if you saw me at Olds, you got to see it, and you'll get to see it on the podcast when it's actually finished. Reading, I am only reading The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. I'm going to say it's Ahdieh. And I'm sorry if you can hear the kids outside. I have the patio door open and they're outside playing. But yeah, Renee Ahdieh. And it's another retelling of 1001 Nights. So like, I just finished another one like this, 1000 Nights. I think that was it. Yeah, and okay, so this is really cool. So see how it's like this on the cover? You can see her there, kind of. If it wasn't so reflective, you'd see her better. But then you open it up, and there she is. I love this end paper design. It's so cool and so clever. I didn't pick up on it until I was like actually looking at the cover again. But there she is. Oh man, I love end paper designs that do clever things like that. So what has been taking my time since Olds was Monday the 20th was actually my birthday. So Dallas got me a 3DS, which is a Nintendo handheld gaming processor? Gaming machine? What would you call it? It's not a Game Boy anymore. Well, I guess it's a Game Boy 3DS. But they just call it Nintendo 3DS now. And also, it's no longer pocket size, and I'm kind of disappointed. I'm I tuck it in like my hoodie pockets, but now I'm like super worried that if I tuck it in my hoodie pocket and like lean over, it's gonna fall out of my pocket. Why I bring this up is because I remember my first Game Boy was the Pocket, and I understand that you can't stay with this like itty bitty. I think it's maybe, I don't even know the dimensions on that screen, 3x3, 4x4, tiny. So I understand their desire to move up, but at the same time, I'm still kind of disappointed that it's not a Pocket anymore. Sorry, I've got my phone beside me because Dallas is still at work and just, yeah, got a little bit distracted, that's why. Anyway, so what I'm playing on there, I played Pokemon X for the first few days, but it was getting really repetitive, and Pokemon X is really cool because you do get to choose the gender of your character. But I am very much, I think, a first-gen Pokemon player. 150 Pokemon were more than enough to decide from when I was choosing my teams. And I was doing really well with it, except that I had my core group of Pokemon, and they were advancing too fast. So, and I wasn't advancing fast enough, so like, if you've never played Pokemon, what ends up happening is you get your gym badges, and each of your gym badges allows you to control a certain level of Pokemon. And so my Pokemon were rapidly approaching 40, which was the second badge level, and I wasn't getting to the next badge level fast enough. So it's always that balancing game of you need a couple groups of Pokemon, but the problem is that, of course, your core group is always going to be better, and then your secondary or third or fourth, however many you have, are hard to play with because then you have to grind them, which means that you need to go around and fight the Pokemon to get your experience. Anyway, I was getting bored with it. So I'm actually playing Fire Emblem Awakening. I've never played Fire Emblem before. I've never played this style of game either. It's called a real-time strategy game, which means that it's not random encounters necessarily. All of your characters are laid out on a grid thing, like grid squares, and all of your enemies are laid out on grid squares, and you can only move so many grid squares per turn, and you can only attack a certain amount of grid squares. Sometimes you can only attack adjacent, and sometimes, like, I have an archer right now that can go 2 or 3. So I've never done real-time strategy like that before, and I'm really enjoying it, actually. And Fire Emblem Awakening has got a fantastic story. I'm really enjoying the story right now. And I'm really enjoying like the interactions between the characters, especially the romance arcs. I'm really loving it because it's not super necessary for them to have good relations with everyone. It's to your benefit. But the spousal, like getting them up to a spouse level, is very beneficial to the player. So I'm really enjoying that. And of course, my character went with the main because I'm like that. So, but I'm having fun. So I think I'm going to finish this. There's 25 chapters, and I think I'm on chapter 14. So about halfway through. There's a whole bunch of side quests I've got to do right now, and a little bit of also grinding there too to get my lower level units up to the same, like a higher level. And then I think the next one I'm playing is the direct sequel to it, which will be Fire Emblem. Either there's 2, Conquest and Birthright, and I heard Conquest is better. Or for certain reasons, Birthright's fine too. But what I'll do is I'll buy one and then I'll get the other one, like the optional stuff, or the stuff that transfers over from Birthright, I think, because I think I'm going to go with Conquest. And then you can purchase the, so basically, Birthright and Conquest both have maps, and the maps mesh, and then I think there's probably other quests in Birthright that you don't get in Conquest and all of that, so I'll probably just buy what I need to so that I don't have to buy both games. And actually, they say don't buy both games. There's something you have to do just to like get the Birthright content that you don't get in Conquest. There we go. Let's like go around the bush before figuring out what the bush actually is. Wow. Okay, so enough blathering on about my gaming, because honestly, that has been what I've been doing this whole time. Besides when I've gone to the gym and have been cleaning. Like even today, I cleaned, like I did one set. So I unloaded and loaded the dishwasher, and then I played a round of this game of Fire Emblem. And then I went and I tidied up upstairs, and then I came down and I played more Fire Emblem. It's an addiction, just a little bit, and it's cut into my knitting time. So I think it'll be good that Dallas is coming home tomorrow, and I can like sit down and he'll play his video games and I'll knit. Especially because I want to try and get that design done in the next week. So that brings me on to a couple other things. The Canada Cal is starting on July 1st. I'm going to start the FO finished object thread in the group and lock it until July 1st, and then you can start posting in there. WIPs are accepted, but you have to have some sort of knitting left on it. And then the rest of the rules are in the chatter thread, and they will be posted in the main FO thread as well. I have sorted out some prizes, which I just realized aren't here. Anyway, I'm going to offer one of my large bags, my large box bags, which have the Canadian provinces print on it, and then a small box bag in the same print. And then we have graciously been donated yarn from Fishnits Yarn as well. And she said that she's also going to have a Fishnits Yarn knit along around the same time as ours. And so if you have any Fishnits yarn, which is the one I suggested last week because of the striping, like the HBC stripes, yeah, so if you have any of that, perfect. Use that for the knit along, and then you can double dip with hers. You can double dip all projects across between at least mine, 2 Tangled Skeins, and myself. My only different rule is that if you use a Nekozuki Knits bag, you get 2 entries. 2 Tangled Skeins, you can't do that. And, sorry, I'm totally out of the groove. Taking a break is not a good idea. But the knit along runs from July 1st to September 30th. You can have 2 entries. Oh, you have to have photographic proof that you are knitting from my bag, along with pictures of your project as well. So you can't enter just if you use a bag. You still have to have a finished object within that time period as well. And but you get 1 entry per finished object, and then you get 1 extra entry for using my bag. Yeah, and that would be per project too, actually, especially if you have multiple bags. So if you have multiple bags and you're using different bags, then you get 1 entry per bag. There we go. And 1 entry per finished project. You can't enter the Cal if you're only using my bag and not doing a Canada Cal project. There. Sorry, that was a lot of talking about that too. Again, just circular arguments in my head. Anyway, but you can also use the hashtag CanadaCal2016 on Ravelry, Instagram, all social media. We would greatly appreciate hearing about your projects. I'm definitely going to be stalking that tag. And you can get 25% off my patterns on Ravelry as well. And I will post that coupon code. It'll be right here, because I don't remember what it is. And it'll also be in the thread on Ravelry as well. Yeah, okay, so I'm just taking a look at my notes here. And the next thing is stash enhancement, which there's a lot of because Olds was bad for my wallet, but fantastic, fantastic fibery goodness. Okay, so as I said, it was my birthday weekend, so I definitely purchased a little bit more than I normally would. I usually have my number from most of the events is the same. Rhinebeck was higher, but that was because it was Rhinebeck and I didn't know if I would like it enough to go back or when I'll be back, so that's why it was up there. Olds obviously is a little bit more accessible, and I will be back next year's vendor as well, as long as they'll have me. But yeah, I spent a little bit more simply because it was my birthday weekend. So the first thing I bought was through a picture on Instagram. And so this is a new to me yarn dye. It's Poppy Yarn and Fiber. She's out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And this is the colorway Kipling. And it's gorgeous and it's squishy. It's normal 80/20 superwash merino nylon. It's her Time Twist. But yeah, it's super awesome. And actually, I found her, I don't remember how I found her exactly, but it was on Instagram. She was posting this, and she apparently is also experimenting with like sweater skeins too. So I'm hoping to see a lot more from her here soon. And she's got a lot of, well, she had two when I looked last, Singapore color, like Singapore inspired and named colorways. So that was really cool because one of them was Sentosa, which is one of the islands that I visited when I was in Singapore, when I was on exchange in Japan. Anyway, it's gorgeous. This is Kipling. It's got just some nice like little speckles, and I've never really worked with anything with speckles. So this is going to be Socks for Dallas. And it's 400 yards and 100 grams. So really standard sock yarn, but like I said, gorgeous. So yeah, so she brought that to Olds for me. And then another brand new company that made their debut at Olds actually is Flock Fiber Studio, sorry. And this is the skein that I got them to put away for me. Saw it on Instagram and I'm like, no, that's mine. Please, will you hold for me? And this is Among the Wildflowers, and it is their Take a Hike sock. And it is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it's 420 yards per 115 grams. So really, really gorgeous colors. Again, another speckled. Never worked with speckling like this before. I'm super excited for it. And it's two ladies, and it's Nikki and someone. Okay, let me look this up because I can't remember. They were lovely ladies too, and I remember that because we actually chatted quite a bit. And their shop is on Etsy. Nikki and something. Oh, sorry, ladies. It is Nikki and Kim. Okay, there we go. So Kim and Nikki and Kim. It's a duo yarn dyeing ladies, and yeah, they're absolutely fantastic, and I'm hoping to see more of them. Because then I also ended up with Wanderlust BFL, and look at these colors. It's called Skinny Dipping. And actually, I'm gonna pull the label off here because I haven't even looked under it. Okay, so it is not showing up because of my lighting, but there's a really gorgeous royal purple in here. And yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this. And that was the other cool thing, is they've got a lot of different bases. Well, or at least a couple different, because this is 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon. In, like I said, the Wanderlust BFL. It's 370 meters or 405 yards per 115 grams. So a little bit heavier than the Take a Hike. But gorgeous colorway. I love it. Can't wait. I just can't wait to knit with that. And then I got one of their Daydream MCN in Weathervane. And this is in 80 merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. 340 meters, 375 yards, and 115 grams. Again, super gorgeous, so soft, and I love how tightly their skeins are skeined. I love their logo, and this is going to be paired with one of their Take a Hike sock gradients. It goes from this like gorgeous raspberry to this gorgeous blue, and I'm super excited to do that too. So this 6 mini skein set is approximately 500 yards, and again, the Take a Hike sock gradient is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and this colorway is There's Something About Berries, which you can totally see because there's a raspberry and a blueberry, electric blueberry. Actually, that looks like blue raspberry jello, to be honest. So that was from them, and that is where I spent most of my money that weekend. So obviously, because my God, the colors. And then apparently I've got a thing for purples and blues right now because I also got this art bat. And this is from Sarah Elizabeth Fiberworks. She's out of Roslyn, BC, so that's really cool. And yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And this has, so it's 66 grams or 2.35 ounces. It's called Midnight Ocean. It's Merino, Rambouillet, BFL, Alpaca, Mohair, Angelina, and Silk. So I'm super excited to like get into this. I love this like super blue part in here. And that is getting washed out. It's a lot more, well, it also smells really good. Yeah, it's gonna have a marling. That definitely washed it out. Let's keep going back. Yeah, that's pretty close. So it's really purpley, like purple with some lilac in here, and then this blue as well. So that was something else. And then, okay, let's just discuss that this is super cute. Tin Roof Fiber Studio. I love it. Like super cute. And that's where I spent more money. With some Leicester Longwool. These crazy colors. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's pretty. And another set in like more muted version of that other one. I actually have some mohair that's like very much in these colors too. And that's, yeah, Leicester Longwool. And then one of her snack packs, she calls it, which is basically a mix of everything and anything. It's kind of a kitchen sink one, and I just asked for pinks. Because I saw her there on Saturday when I bought the other stuff, and I was like, can you do a pink one? Because most of them were gone. Actually, that was Friday. Most of her snack packs were gone. So I was like, well, and she's like, well, I've got everything with me. So I was like, well, can I get a pink one? And she did a pink one. And then finally, Catfish Fiber Arts, also out of Calgary. And there's her email. That would be the easiest way to contact her because she doesn't actually have a website yet. But, and you can't see this. She was my booth neighbor, so of course, you have to support your neighbors. Sorry for the crinkling. Normally I'm really good about that. Anyway, this is her spin candy. It's fine fiber, hand-dyed for spinning or felting. And most of her objects are felting related. But this is an 15% silk. Yeah, 75% Polworth in 100 grams. And it's colorway Sapphire and Onyx. And it's also gorgeous. What I love about this year is I was so attracted to so many different colors because I found it so easy to just fall into my normal colors, which I'm trying not to do. So this is kind of not my normal colors, and it's gorgeous. Like, I love the blues in it and the grays, so super excited to spin that. And then I got one of her thrum kits, and this is called A Rose is a Rose. So it's a gradient, kind of looks like a rose. And I'm going to make a pair of thrum mitts with this. So yeah, so that was my stash enhancement. I will link everyone I can in the Ravelry show notes as well. So otherwise, Olds was really good. It was steady, which is always nice. So, and like I said, I do appreciate everyone who came up and said hi, or purchased something, or chatted with me. It was a really good weekend and a really good way to spend my birthday too. Yeah, so I will be back next year. I don't know the dates yet. I don't know if they'll have me, but as long as they will, I will come back. Okay, so the next thing is about the Ridged for Your Pleasure collection. Everything but one has been tested, and I just have to go through and make the final edits and take some final photos. And that I am planning to have ready to post, say this coming weekend. I was thinking July 1st, but it might be this Saturday or Sunday, which is the 2nd or 3rd. Sorry, Dahlia's down here like staring at something, and I'm just hoping it's not a bug. Anyway, so I'm gonna try and get that released for this coming weekend, the Canada Day weekend, which is July 1st. So between the 1st and the 4th, somewhere in there. And I think I discussed this before. How it's going to work is going to be individual patterns available, and then there's going to be a collection, and the collection will be less expensive than the individual patterns. And the biggest benefit is that as I add more patterns to the collection, you will receive those, and the collection price will go up with those patterns. But if you've already purchased the whole collection, you just get them automatically. So hopefully that helps you make your decision about them. I've had a lot of really good feedback about the socks. Thanks so much. Well, I've had good feedback about all of it actually, but everything just needs those couple final tweaks before I release it into the wild. Yeah, I honestly don't know what she's staring at down here. Hey, come say hi. Yeah. Okay, so then the other thing is that Canada Post is threatening to strike starting July 2nd. So what this means is it will impact my Etsy shipping schedule. What I'm currently planning is I have a couple of options available on the on Etsy. So what you can do is for Canada and the US, there is a FedEx option. It is quite a bit more expensive than I would normally charge for shipping. However, it does provide you with a tracking number, which is always nice on international orders. Although it is FedEx ground, but that generally takes about 5 to 7 business days to, like, well, anywhere in Canada or the US, it seems like. So that's one option. So if you purchase anything and you live within Canada or the US, you can select FedEx. If you're an international customer, please let me know, because your options are, well, we can talk about them. Or as for everyone, I have hold my order option now available for all of my items. So what that means is that when you are checking out, you do need to select whether you would like to have FedEx ship it if you're within Canada or the US, or if you're international or don't want to pay FedEx, which I completely understand, there's a hold my order option. And just select that for whether you're domestic or international, obviously, and say that, like, it's fine. What this means is that, so FedEx would get shipped as soon as possible for Canada, the US, or international folks, we can discuss what my options might be to get items to you sooner rather than later. But hold my order means that I will hold it until Canada Post either says, no, we're not striking, or the strike ends. So those are kind of the two options. It's put me in a really big bind for what I can do, and it really sucks for, like, Canada Cal prizes. I don't know how long this will go on. Hopefully not till the end of September. But the other way as well, coming to me, I have stuff mailing to me. So if you are making any purchases for the Cal, keep that in mind, or maybe make a digital purchase for patterns as well. There's always that option too. But those are the two options I'm currently offering in my shop, either FedEx or hold my order, and please select one or the other. I will be contacting anyone who does purchase without putting either of those options, simply because I can't obviously just leave their order sitting and not let someone know. So yeah, a really hard bind, but I hope those two options are sufficient for all of you, and hopefully it comes to be resolved sooner rather than later, and business can go on as usual. And thank you very much for your patience in that regard. I am still running the Birthday Bash sale 2016. So for 15% off all items, including clearance, you can use Birthday Bash 2016 and I'm going to use more hand movements this week because last time I recorded, I didn't actually see what I was where I was pointing. Anyway, Birthday Bash 2016 will get you 15% off. I should preface this also by saying that all local orders, obviously pickup is always available, and again, just select whether you want FedEx or hold my order, and we'll sort it out from there. Okay, final thing is I will be having a shop update with the with a couple things that weren't in the shop. Pre-olds, like the big bags. So the polka dot one and the colorful cats, and then the two other black cats with roses are available. And then batik bags from the Saypen kits are also available because they've come out of the exclusivity period. And yeah, so the next thing after that, oh, and the shop update will be happening on Saturday. Yeah, let's say Saturday, because we'll probably be doing Canada Day stuff, and I still need to take photos. Yeah, that'll be happening Saturday. And the next thing that I'll be at is Knit City in Vancouver from October 1st to 2nd. Will be the market at the PNE Forum. And there's a bunch of big guests coming this year. So if you've kind of been considering, it might be a good option to look now, because a lot of the classes were selling out. And then you might still be able to take advantage of a block rate in a hotel room as well, or a hotel area as well. So definitely check out their Ravelry boards. I'll link them in the show notes. And also keep an eye on the Ravelry boards, because something special is coming up with them actually that I'm working with them on to benefit attendees and potential attendees. I'm just confirming some details with them, but hopefully I'll have that news for you next Monday or Tuesday as well. So yeah, I think that's all. Thank you very much, everyone, for all your continued support. Like I said, whether that's watching the podcast or saying hi at events or making a purchase, I do really appreciate it. It helps, well, it helps take care of my cats at least. And yeah, so I hope that you all have a wonderful week. Happy crafting, and I will chat with you soon. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.